Harris Playground.
Hooray!
This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Deron Harris.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the program. This is my show, y'all. Hopefully you had a good week. My week was good. My wife, if you listened to the last podcast, my wife had major surgery. And it was cancer preventative surgery. And God bless her, because she went through one of the hardest things I think anybody could have ever gone through. And it completely transformed her body. And let me make this clear, it was not cosmetic at all. It wasn't a cosmetic thing at all. It was, strictly cancer prevention. As I said in the last episode, she tested high for the BRCA exam. So she, like I said, we had some pretty serious surgery. So she's in recovery. And I know that I said last week that I would have her on, but I'm going to wait until she feels a little bit better and can actually sit here and have a conversation with me about this. But this episode is about something that she kind of really sparked this, because she went through the surgery, but when she came out, she was a different person in the respect that she is now as gun-ho as it gets to changing her diet. She's really looking at her diet and what is going on in her diet and the harmful things that are in her diet. So she really kind of not so much pushed me at this, but made me really think about the things that we really ingest and put into our body. Now, I know I've done some episodes about this before, eating and our health and all this other stuff, but this is kind of alarming to me. And it should be to everybody else too. It should be really alarming to everybody else, but it's not. And that's one of the things that bothers me. That's one of the things that really, really bothers me, because it's no secret. We're not the healthiest people. We portray like we're healthy, and we do some healthy things here. We promote healthiness, but a lot of us are just not healthy. We're not healthy. We're not focused. We have a lot of mental health issues, and shout out to my therapist, by the way. And how's your mental health, folks? Hopefully your mental health is good this week. My mental health is a little frazzled, but it's good. It's in a positive direction. My wife is good. But back to what I'm really wanting to talk about, which is this food that we got going on, man. And I just think it's wild. So I want to talk about our food supply. I want to talk about our food supply and where we get our food, and the farms and the farming industry, and where we get our foods from. And what I really want to talk about is this one particular act. There was an act that was passed. It's the Agricultural Gag Act. I'm not really sure if anybody knows what that is. It's the Agricultural Gag Act. It's a piece of legislation, also known as the Ag-Gag, the AGGAG, the Ag-Gag law. And there's a few states. I don't think it's every state, but it's a few states that have this act. And what this act does is it prevents whistleblowers, journalists, news people from telling on these people or exposing the conditions of the factories and the treatment of the animals that go into the production of our food. And it's bothersome because it really does hold back the transparency in the American food industry. That's scary. That's troublesome, to say the least. I mean, a lot of us, and I have some friends that have really, they have made the switch. They made the switch a while ago, and I've actually featured both of them, and they've both been on my podcast. And they made the switch and decided that they were going to really take stock into what they put in their bodies. And that is a big deal. It kind of inspired my wife and I, and to a degree, we had started trying to make a lot of changes, make these subtle changes to our diet. We go out a lot less. Stop eating out a lot less. Stop trusting other people to make our food for us so much. Trusting, these other companies. But we see these companies and they advertise and they got great ad campaigns and it's great. Yeah, come down. You deserve a break today. Have it your way. All kinds of, we eat fresh, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of this stuff out here. But do we really know what are in the foods that they're serving us? Do we really take stock in that when we go out to these places to eat food? All right, so let's get into it. The food industry is no big secret. It's just a dark place, and it's very dishonest, and it is very deliberate in the practices, that put our health at risk, and they just are. They're super guilty. So we're going to talk about that and discuss, why certain American foods are banned in other countries, and explore, and just kind of go over what the consequences are. So why are American foods banned in other countries? So why are other foods banned in America? It often comes down to harmful chemical additives, and this is what I'm talking about. It's these ingredients that are deemed unsafe for consumption. It's just stuff that you can't fucking eat. Some of these additives are linked to health problems like obesity and cancer and cardiovascular disease, and they don't care, and they continue to use it, and we continue to eat it. See the problem, folks? That right there, that is the problem. That's the problem. They continue to make it, and we continue to eat it. They continue to make it. We continue to eat it. We start developing things like cardiovascular disease and cancer. And what happens there? Then we got to go to the doctor. We have to go to the doctor and get told that we have cancer. And now we have cancer. And now we have to have treatment and spend all this money and use insurance. And now we have cancer. Now I have to take this medication because I have cancer now. Because I ate one too many ho-hos, or I have diabetes, or whatever it is. Now I have to take this medication, which does what? It involves the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, really. Listen to this. Now, check it out. Which countries have banned the most American food? Well, check it out. The European Union said, fuck that shit. They have restricted, they have strict regulations and have restricted a lot of our food. Like a bunch of food. Like food that we eat a lot of. Like food that they not necessarily ban the food, they just, well, yeah, there's some outright bans, but they do have some of our products over there, but their products that are over there have different ingredients than our products, like ketchup and Mountain Dew and oatmeal and Doritos and shit like that. They have, their things have different ingredients, and when you compare the two, it's staggering at how many more ingredients go into the American version of these products than the versions in the UK. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to sit here and look at these foods and go, why do you guys get a different Heinz ketchup than we get here? Well, the answer is very, very simple in my eyes anyway, and that is because they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. They want to make us sick. They want to make us sick. There's big business in us being sick all the time. There's huge business in us being laid the fuck out all the time. Huge business in it. So what's the best way to get people sick? What's the best way to get people healthy? Ask yourself that question. The best way to make people healthy is the food. So it only makes sense the best way to make people unhealthy is the food. Even the health food, folks. Don't fall for that trap either. Even the health food. Why? Why are these foods banned? Now, we just went over why the foods are banned. But here are a list of 10 American foods that have been banned in other countries and the reasons why. I have compiled this list of these things to let everybody know why these foods that we consume here in America every day, these are foods that we find in our grocery stores, that we see on television, that we feed to our children and our elderly and our loved ones and even ourselves, and sometimes even our pets. And these are foods that we are inflicting on ourselves out of stupidity. Because we won't say nothing. We won't stand up and we won't hold people accountable. We won't demand transparency in the thing that fuels our bodies, our very existence, our food supply. We are so frivolous, and we trust to so many people, to so many different people. If you knew how much manufacturing went into making our food, just a bag of Doritos. If you look at the chemicals on a bag of Doritos, and then you think about what process was made to get these chemicals to put in these Doritos. Think about that shit, man. That shit is crazy. They had to make shit to put on our food. That obviously makes us sick. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. So here they are. There's 10 things, 10 American foods, and this is just a short list, by the way. This is 10 American foods. Okay, number 1, artificial dyes. Artificial dyes are banned in other countries. And some synthetic food dyes like Yellow 5 and Red 40 are linked to hyperactivity in children, leading to bans in Europe. Number 2, brominated vegetable oil, or BVO. BVO, found in some soft drinks, is banned in Europe and Japan due to concerns over its impact on the nervous system. Get the fuck out of here. You know, come on. Ugh. Yeah. Start looking at the labels, folks. Start looking at what you're putting in your body. I'm dead serious. I'm absolutely serious. Start looking at what you're putting in your body. It doesn't take 2 seconds but to turn over the label and look. And if you can't pronounce some shit, chances are you're not supposed to put it in your body. That's the general rule. Now, of course, there's some exceptions to the rule. You know, of course, there always is. But, you know, we can never get away from everything. We can never get away from every chemical. It's just the way that the world is now. I mean, you know what? And I'm not really even going to say that, because there are ways to eliminate these things from your life, and we'll get into that later in the podcast. But as for right now, in most of America, it's an insurmountable task to, man, what the fuck do you mean? Stop eating McDonald's. I mean, holy shit. I got to stop eating, you know, this. I got to stop eating the thing that I love the most at the grocery store. What about these health food? Yeah, man, some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is not what it appears to be. It is the proverbial wolf in sheep's clothing. So this is a word that I can't pronounce, and I'm going to ask my friend Artie Intel from the AI Report podcast to go ahead and pronounce this word for me. Artie, could you pronounce this word for me?
Sure. Ractopamine. Ractopamine is the growth-promoting drug used in American pork. This potentially risky drug is banned in the EU, China, and Russia.
Thank you very much. It's Racto, whatever. He like he just said, chlorine-washed chicken is also banned in Europe. What the fuck do you mean chlorine? Why they wash the chicken in chlorine? Yes, folks. Yes, the United States washes the chicken in chlorine. The EU bans chicken treated with chlorine, which is commonly used in the U.S. to kill pathogens, but raises safety concerns. Hell yeah, putting chlorine in your... Listen, here's another one that's just crazy. Number 5, RBGHBST. That's just capital letters, folks. That means it's okay. Recombinant bovine growth hormone used in American dairy is banned in the EU and Canada due to concerns about its effects on human health. Arsenic in the chicken feed. Some American poultry feed contains arsenic, which is banned in the EU due to its carcinogenic properties. Number 7 is potassium bromate. This additive in bread, okay, this is in bread, and I eat a lot of bread, is banned in the EU and China and Brazil because of its potential carcinogens. Here's another word that I'm going to leave to my friend Artie Intel. And Artie, I need, listen, bro, I need some help with this. Can you help me out?
Azodicarbonamide.
Okay. What he just said.
Azodicarbonamide.
Found in bread. And get this, yoga mats. Listen, it's crazy what we use stuff for. And it's that, and by the way, that's linked to asthma. Okay? That's linked to asthma. Farm-raised salmon. If you don't catch the salmon yourself, don't eat it. Some American farm-raised salmon contains antibiotics and chemicals, leading to bans in various countries, not just the UK. Olestra. Okay. Olestra. If you're thinking you're cool with this Olestra used in fat-free snacks, Olestra can lead to digestive problems and is banned in the UK and Canada, our neighbor to the north. Look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a lot of stuff. That's just 10 things. That's just 10 things. 10 U.S. And that's not even brands of things. You follow me? That's not even brands of things. But here's a couple of foods. Here's 3 branded foods that are banned in America, surprisingly. Kinder Surprise eggs. These chocolate eggs with toys inside are banned in the U.S. due to concern about choking hazards. Okay. That's new. That's not due to the actual chocolate, but it's the choking hazard for them. That's banned. Haggis. Yeah. Absinthe. But absinthe is one of those things that is on the cutting edge because it's been regulated. Because back in my days of tending bar, there was, in the United States, you couldn't really get absinthe. There was no absinthe. And part of the reason is because they say it made you hallucinate. Now, I really never had any absinthe until there was this company called Lucid, and if you're familiar with it, they made an absinthe, but it was partial absinthe. It wasn't 100% pure absinthe. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it was my first introduction into something that was banned in this country that was now made legal. So that's been a little bit relaxed, but there are some ingredients in some things that we have that are the same. Like I was talking about before, there's some ingredients that we have that are the same that are banned. And we'll get into that in just a couple of minutes. But I'm going to take a quick, fast break, go to the bathroom, check my email really fast, and I'll be back. You're listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Come on back. Check me out.
Go on then. Just go. Go north. Go south. Go here.
Go there.
Go uptown. Go downtown. This is not downtown. Go back to basics. Go fish. Then go fish. Go down memory lane. Just make sure you share the lane. Go dance like no one's watching. Go where you're absolutely sure that no one's watching. Go say I do. Then go out there and do it. Go Bears! Go Wolves! That's a wolf. Go, 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 go. And at the end of the day, when your tank is running low,
Go to sleep.
because tomorrow, we go on again.
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast.
Hey, folks, what's up? Welcome back to the program. Talking about food and how the chemicals in the food have led other countries to ban food from America. Our food is killing motherfuckers. It really is kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's our food that really is making us sick here in the country. And I know now a lot of people are really privy to that, but a lot of people really aren't, and a lot of us really need to be. We need to get there. Our country is really, really unhealthy, and this is the main reason. Now, before I went to the break, I was talking about United States foods versus foods in the UK and their ingredients for the same food. Now, this is the same food, okay? The same product. The same product. Doritos. Cool Ranch, regular old Cool Ranch Doritos. In the UK, now this is the United Kingdom. The ingredients are corn, vegetable oils, sunflower, rape seeds, cool original flavor, salt, glucose, syrup, sugar, potassium chloride, cheese powder, flavor enhancers, monosodium glutamate, disodium 5, ribonucleotide. I got that one, Artie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Acidity regulators, malic acid, sodium acetate, citric acid, colure, annatto is really what it is, milk proteins, and spice. Okay? That's the Cool Ranch Doritos in Europe. These are the Cool Ranch Doritos from the United States. Corn, vegetable oil, corn oil, canola, and or sunflower oil. Maltodextrin, salt, tomato powder, cornstarch, lactose whey. Skim milk, corn syrup, solids, onion powder, sugar, garlic powder, monosodium glutamate, cheese, cheddar cheese, milk cheese cultures, salt, enzymes, dextrose, malic acid, buttermilk, natural and artificial flavors, sodium acetate, artificial color, red 40, blue number 1, yellow number 5, sodium caseinate, spice, citric acid, disodium inosinate, and disodium guanylate, whatever.
Disodium inosinate and disodium guanylate.
I'm going to take it from here, Artie. But you get what I mean? That's just one. That's just one. That's just one. Let's do something else. Let's do something else. Let's do something that we all think is simple. Heinz ketchup. Good old Heinz ketchup. In Europe, the ingredients are tomatoes, spirit vinegar, sugar, salt, spice, and herb extracts, spice. Okay? In the United States, this is the United States version of Heinz, good old Heinz ketchup, tomato concentrate, distilled vinegar, high fructose corn syrup, salt, spice, onion powder, natural flavoring. Wow. Really, y'all? High fructose corn syrup. Why the high fructose corn syrup? Isn't that linked to some bad shit? Yeah. So why? Why are we getting this food here in America? I mean, I'm literally, if you could see me right now, I'm literally scratching my head. I can't understand it. I cannot understand it. Why? Why do they get different ingredients than we get at the country of, we should, I mean, folks. I mean, am I please tell me I'm not, and I know I'm not the only person that sees a problem with this. But the problem is how do we hold these companies accountable when the food is so fucking delicious? That's the problem. That is the problem, folks. That's how they get us. It is engineered to be delicious. It is engineered to be the best shit you ever had in your life. Remember the chicken sandwich wars, Popeyes, or Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich? Can you imagine the shit that goes? I mean, listen to this. Listen to this. I hate to do it to you, folks. I hate to do it to you. But I got to do it. I have to do it. I have to do it. I got to tell you, there are 55 ingredients in a Chick-fil-A sandwich, okay? In a sandwich that's just supposed to be, that we think is just supposed to be bread, chicken, cheese, and pickles, okay? Bread, chicken, cheese, and pickles. That's 4 ingredients, right? Wrong. That's fucking wrong. There's 55 ingredients in going into a Chick-fil-A sandwich, okay? First, okay, and we're going to cover the chicken. The chicken is boneless, skinless chicken breast fillet, salt, monosodium glutamate, MSG, sugar, spices, and paprika. And that's the chicken. That's just the chicken. Okay? The chicken. Just the chicken. Now, the coating or the breading of the chicken. Enriched bleached wheat flour, sugar again, salt again, monosodium glutamate again, non-fat milk, baking soda, sodium aluminum phosphate. Phosphate, calcium phosphate, spice, soybean oil, color, paprika, water, non-fat milk, egg, fully refined peanut oil, and something I can't pronounce, starts with a D, ends with a hexane. I'm not going to even call Artie for that one. Anyway, the bun. Now we're on to the bun. The bun itself. The bun is enriched wheat flour, water, sugar again, yeast, soybean oil, wheat, gluten, salt again, cultured wheat flour, vinegar, calcium sulfate, monoglycerides, DATEM. Those are capital letters, folks. Datum. I don't know what the fuck that is. Datum? Never heard of it. DATEM. What is datum? Can you help me, folks? Anybody? Datum? Anybody? Anyway, moving right along with the bun, calcium ascorbic citric acid, enzymes, soy lectin, potassium iodate. Yeah, that's the bun. And then there's the bun oil. There's the bun oil, soybean oil, palm kernel oil, soy lectin oil, natural flavors, beta carotene. Natural flavors for the bun oil. Pickles, really? Ingredients for pickles. Okay, I'll give you cucumbers. Okay, water. Cool. Vinegar. I get that. Salt. Okay. Alum. A-L-U-M. I'm lost now. Calcium chloride. I'm even more lost. Potassium sorbate. Natural flavor. You got a naturally flavored pickle. Polysorbate 80 in my pickles, or in the pickles at Chick-fil-A. Yellow 5 and blue number 1. Yellow 5, blue number 1, and polysorbate 80 in the pickles. So there's 55 ingredients in just the Chick-fil-A sandwich that they claim to be so good, just basic good-for-you food. Not to mention, you know, McDonald's. I mean, nobody knows what the fuck is in those flame-retardant ass fries. We eat the craziest things in the world, folks. We really do. We go straight to 7-Eleven, right over to that little box they got in the corner. We grab one of those hot dogs, and we slather some sort of processed cheese food and some sort of mushed up meat food that they call chili that's in a bag that's been sitting on that counter for who knows how long. And we eat that shit and call it great. Because it's delicious, folks. I can't lie. I can't lie. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. They're delicious. They're absolutely delicious. I've sat in 7-Eleven and made myself 2 of them. Just sat there in 2 of them, sometimes 3, especially when they were cheap. 99 cents. Man, I got $3 all day. Bam, bam, bam. 3 hot dogs. Bam, bam, bam. It's crazy. But all these subtleties, all these little things contribute. They contribute to our health, to the health of our country. They contribute to the health of the American people. It's folks, it's saddening because we trust these people to give us good, wholesome food. It's supposed to be America, greatest country in the world. It's supposed to have the great food, and we do have good food, man. We have great food in this country. We really do. But we have shit ingredients. We have shit ingredients. And these people that we trust every week when we go in the grocery stores to buy our food are shitting on us. They're making us sick. Now, a lot of the reasons, like I said, a lot of the reasons these foods are banned is because of the dyes. So, which dyes? What dyes? What dyes? What dyes? What dyes are banned? What are the dyes? And what are the things that these dyes are in? Right? Start looking at the labels, folks. I don't want to sound like your mother or your grandma, but really, start looking at the labels. Turn that shit around. Turn it around and look at that shit. Listen, salad dressing, instant oatmeal, cereal, syrup, flavored applesauce, candy, microwave popcorn, and of course, we all know artificially flavored drinks. They all have dye in them. Dye in them. Dye. Okay? Think about it. Dye. They want you to die is what they're doing. It's what it is. But there's things that you can change, man. There's things that you can change. Like red dye, people use beets. Sometimes in small amounts, if you use beets, you can't even tell that there's beets in there, and there's a benefit to you. But I'm not going to preach to you about health food this episode, but really, there are ways for these companies to do this. There are ways for these companies to make our food supply safer for us, but they choose not to. Why? Why are they doing this? Why is this happening to us? I mean, why are they doing this? It's simple, folks. Capitalism. Cash money. cash money. There's a dollar value on all of us. There's a dollar value on all of us and how we get to visit the hospital and check to see all these different things that ail us. My wife just had to have major surgery, like I said at the beginning of the podcast. Major cancer, preventative surgery. And that's why. And that is why. It keeps these people rich. Keeps these companies rolling in dough and taking the money straight to the bank at the expense of our health. So I'm going to give you guys the 7 worst dyes, and you might want to write this list down. These are the 7 worst dyes that you can put in your body, okay? The 7 worst dyes. Blue number 2, okay? Green number 3. Red number 3. Red number 40. Yellow number 5. And yellow number 6, okay? And believe it or not, these dyes can affect your behavior. And if you didn't, red number 40 and yellow number 5 can disrupt nervous system function, which may increase symptoms of anxiety. So if you have anxiety, like I have anxiety, it's the food. It's the dye in the food. That's how intricate it is. That is how intricate this is. It's the dye in the food, folks. So, listen. This is a call to action. If you've made it this far in my podcast, congratulations. But this is a call to action that I'm about to propose to everybody who is out there and listening to my podcast. So if there's anybody listening to my voice right now, this is a call to action for everyone. We have to demand real food and real transparency in the food industry. Period. Point blank. We got to demand it. I mean, I know we got Democrats and Republicans out here fighting, but who's fighting to keep us alive? To keep us healthy? Who's fighting for that? We've already proven that the Democrats and the Republicans, they're not fighting to keep us healthy. They're just fighting them for themselves. We got to be the ones to step up, folks. We have to be the one. This is also a call to action for ourselves, to be the ones, to be diligent and look at these things, find these ways, find other ways to eliminate these things from our diets. And if enough of us do it, eventually, the trickle down, we hope, is that these companies will get the message and they'll start trying to make food that is actually beneficial to the human body. I really hope so. So here are 10 things. Here's 10 ways to eliminate harmful foods and ingredients from your diet. All right, this is before I'm going to wrap it up after this, folks. I got to get back home to my wife. She is home, like I said, with my mother still going through recovery, but I want to get through this, and I really want to drive this point home and let everybody know that we can do this. And this is just 10 ways. These are 10 ways that we can eliminate these things. Number 1 is cook at home. That's probably the most simple thing that you can do is cook at home, prepare meals from scratch using fresh ingredients and just whole ingredients. And listen to this also. When you're going out and you're buying produce and things of that nature, look for number 4s. Look for the number 4. A little sticker, there's got a 4, and some of them have a 9. Don't get the ones with the 4. That's just regular grown food. They have pesticide. Get the number 9s are the organically grown food. Okay, that's organically grown food. And that's what you look for. Read the labels is number 2. Read over everything. And my rule of thumb is this. If there's too many things I can't pronounce, I don't get it. If there are too many things in this packaging that I can't, this small packaging that I can't pronounce, I don't get it. I used to love McDonald's. My wife and I, we just don't go anymore. We don't do fast food. We just don't do it. We just don't do it because that's just what it is. That's just what it is. We know that to be what it is. Number 3, like I just said, opt for organic products. If you have access to it, and they may be a little bit more expensive, and they may, if you sit on them, they may go bad a little quickly. So, what I used to do when I lived in New York is if I was going to cook today, I went to the grocery store today and I bought the things that I was going to cook today. So it was fresh. So if you adopt that ideology and you apply I'm going to only shop for organic products, then, you might be able to make yourself a pretty decent regiment with that. Number 4, limit processed foods. Minimize processed and fast food consumption. Like I just said, that is a lot of it, folks. It really is. We just got to, we got to make them responsible. McDonald's, they sell so much food, and it's so poisonous to us, and we keep eating it, and we don't hold them accountable for it. We don't hold them accountable. We really don't. Number 5, support local farms. Buy locally grown and raised products. That helps out your community. That helps out everybody. And you learn things. That helps out everybody, and you learn things. Number 6, advocate for transparency. Support policies that increase food industry transparency. That's simple as that. Do your research. Do your research. I sure do, because I'm concerned about it. I want to know what's being passed. What has to do with the things that I put Did you guys know that China owns the pork industry in the United States? Did you know that? Some of you, I bet, didn't even know that. What are we putting in our bodies, folks? Number 7, educate yourself. Stay informed about food-related issues. Now, I'm a foodie. I served food my whole life. The service of people is one of the things that I loved, but it's also one of the problems of today. I will go ahead and say that, but that is also for another podcast episode. But that's one of the things you just stay informed. Just stay informed. Do your research. It's out there. It really is out there. And we will not eat it. We'll look at something, and if it's too good to be true, chances are, it really is. Number 8 is simple. Cut down on your sugar. And that is something for me right there. That is one thing that I struggle with, and I struggle with it. And one of the reasons that I struggle with it so much is because I bake. I bake a lot. It's one of the things that gives me peace and joy. But I try and find alternative things, alternative products to bake with to cut back on the sugar intake. I really do. And that's hard for me. But every now and then I'm up in the middle of the night, just like a little mouse in the kitchen, nibble, nibble here, nibble, nibble there, a little bit of ice cream here and some cookies there. Starting to get a little buttery around the midsection. Got to cut it out. And that's really all it is. That's really all it is. Got to be more mindful, be more conscious, understand what it does. Understand, not only understand, folks, but internalize what this does. Internalize what this is doing to you. It was much like when I quit smoking. A lot of people told me, man, you should quit smoking. You should quit smoking. Yeah, whatever. And I, gave it a couple of tries. But then one time my young son, he told me, Daddy, you should quit smoking. And that was the time that it stuck. But at that time, I made a switch. It was like a switch, like a hard, like a train being shifted to another track where you force down the lever and the track click, 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 click. And I quit smoking. Just like that. And that was 10 years ago. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that mindset. But food is difficult. Just like nicotine, food is real difficult because it's delicious. It's designed to be delicious, folks. We got to understand that. We got to understand they're out to bamboozle the shit out of us. They're out to get us with the deliciousness. They're getting us every day with the it's delicious. They're getting us. And we're falling for it. We got to not fall for it. We have to fight it. We got to fight it, folks. Number 9 is diversify your diet. Include a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Boring. That's what a lot of people say. But there are ways. There are recipes. I stand in the grocery store line every week looking at the little magazines on how to make some cool shit with just fruit. And I'll tell you this, man. We're so quick to go if we want something sweet. The American people is so conditioned to go for a piece of cake or a piece of candy. And we don't realize how good an apple is. How absolutely amazing an orange is. We don't even recognize that these muscadine grapes are the most incredible grapes I've ever put in my mouth. We don't even realize that. So quick to go for a Snickers bar because it really satisfies. It also helps kill you too. And lastly, folks, number 10 is demand accountability. Hold food manufacturers and policymakers accountable for public health. They want to be accountable for everything else. They want to tell us what to learn and how to think and what to vote for, and hold them accountable, folks. We need to start holding them accountable. It is the only way that these things are going to change. It's the only way that our country is going to be back on the upslide. Because right now we lead the world in so many bad things. And a lot of it is food related. A lot of it is food related. If you don't believe me, look up the statistics and then look at our diet and look at the things that are in our diet and the deficiencies that they cause. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at that today, folks. I think that's good for today. I'm starving, and I got to go out and make good decisions, but I did make a really great decision. I made some stew from scratch, from absolute scratch, everything. I made the demi-glace. It took 17 hours. And then I made the stew, and that took another 5 or 6. And it was made out of everything, fresh herbs and spices. No McCormick, nothing, nowhere. And it was amazing, folks. A little bit of effort, a little bit of time, a little bit of elbow grease, some tender love and care. And I had some really good, really healthy stew. It can be fun, and it can be done, and you can do it. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Deron Harris Podcast, folks. I want to thank my wife for being the superhero that she is and opening my eyes to this subject. Thank you, babe, because it makes a lot of sense. I want to thank the Yandel family. I want to thank the Yandels for also turning mine and my wife's eye even more towards this issue, because it is very important. I know a lot of you are like, whatever. But man, talk to me when you're laying on your deathbed and they're telling you have this disease because you ate this. It matters, folks. It really does. It matters. So I want to thank the Yandels for all the encouragement and the motivation and the inspiration for us and others. I want to thank my parents for being great parents, even though they fed us, collard greens and cornbread and macaroni and cheese and candied yams, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to still eat that shit from time to time, but just a whole lot less of it. Because, you know, everything that tastes good ain't always good for you. I want to thank my producer and best friend, Jesse Yandel, for being a great producer and a good motivator. I want to thank Gentry Thomas for giving me the platform to do my podcast on every week. And last but not least, I want to thank my listeners, all of you that are out there that are still listening to my podcast. You guys shock me every single week. I swear, when I do my podcast, I'm like, great, maybe 8 or 9 people are going to listen to this. But every week, I am pleasantly surprised and wonderfully shocked, and I thank you all for the ongoing support. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, and hopefully I am giving you guys better content. I'm trying to get better, and with your help, I will achieve that goal. So I want to thank you, and this is one of the reasons, you guys are one of the reasons that I do podcasts like this, so that you guys can get something out of it. You can get a little bit of knowledge out of it. I know I babble a lot sometimes, but you know, I only want to give you guys something that you can use positively to make your lives positive. I know I talk a lot about a lot of subjects that might make people cringe, you know, or piss a lot of people off. I have an inflammatory podcast, as it's been called. But just know, everybody, that everything that I try and bring to you, I bring to you from a place of love and a place of wanting to heal, wanting to overcome adversity. And that's where I get the motivation to do my podcast. And I get that from you guys. And I appreciate you again for listening. And I'll see you next week. All right? So until then, read some labels, folks. Cook some food at home. Peace.
You've been listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DeronHarris.com.